Okay, hi everyone. Today we're going to look at 9.3. 9.3 is actually your angle properties and another set of angle properties, but this one involves two parallel lines and a transversal. So what is parallel lines and transversal? Parallel lines are, for example, two lines that go in the same direction and two lines that will never meet. Okay, then they will go on forever and ever in the same direction. Okay, so we call them parallel lines. Okay, and what is a transversal? This EF is what we call a transversal, meaning it is a line that cuts through two parallel line or any line that cuts through lah. Okay, we call this a transversal. Okay, so with parallel lines in primary school, we've learned three different angle properties, which are your corresponding angle, your alternate angle, and also your interior angle. Corresponding, alternate, interior, three types of angles. Okay, so here we are going to write down some examples of these angles. Now, so first, these three angles, so corresponding angles are equal, so meaning they are equal. Okay, so what are our corresponding angles? Okay, so meaning, for example, over here, okay, example your angle F, this place and this, so this angle over here. Okay, now the corresponding angle for this one is actually in this corner over here. Okay, right, now why? Because these two lines are parallel, and when you get a line that cuts through here, these two lines form the same angle. Okay, because they're parallel, so this angle will be the same as this angle because this is slanted in the same way. Okay, so what actually this forms is actually this F thingy. Okay, not sure but whether you can see or not, but you can form this F thingy. Okay, alright, the other corresponding angle is, for example, okay, maybe I draw one here, then the next corresponding angle is also over here. Okay, so the next set of corresponding angle over here, so same thing, it will form this F thingy. Okay, F shaped thing over here, 1 2 3, F shaped thing over here. Okay, so in case this isn't clear, 1 2 3, like that. Okay, so it will form the Fs. Now, can it be like, let's say C something E and A here E? Can it also be A something F, C something F? Also can. Okay, so these two can be corresponding as well. So in total, actually we can have 4 sets of corresponding angle. Okay, so once more, let me re-emphasize that corresponding angle, right, will show you with the letter F. Okay, so or you can use the letter F to identify the corresponding angle, but the condition is these two lines must be parallel for you to use this corresponding angle. Okay, now next one, alternate angles. Alternate angles are also equal. Okay, alternate angles are also equal. So let's have two examples of the alternate angle. So the first alternate angle is here. Okay, so let's say if this angle is here, the alternate angle meaning it is the angle at the opposite side or it is at the alternate side, so the alternate angle is over here. Okay, so what happens is, okay, this thing we need to form a Z. Okay, for alternate angle we are actually looking for a Z. Okay, and the angle inside the Z will be alternate. Okay, now same thing over here. Let's say instead of this one, I choose this. The alternate angle is on the opposite side but at the lower end over here, opposite and lower. So the alternate angle is that. So this one also form another Z, which doesn't look like a Z but it's actually like a Z lah. Okay, so alternate is actually at the other side and opposite side. Okay, now why is this so? It's also because of the corresponding angle property and also because of the angles along a straight line add together 180 degrees. So this one, if you do slowly, then you actually arrive at the same at alternate angles. Okay, but we will normally for secondary school we just use this directly. Okay, so the letter Z shows alternate angles. So we have 1, okay, another one 2, last one 3 over here. Okay, here, okay, like this. Okay, so the angle Z here. Okay, so not angle Z, but this thing forms a Z, right? So these two angles are actually our alternate angles. Okay, last but not least, we have our interior angles. Okay, so interior angles are supplementary. Okay, supplementary, or they actually add up to 180 degrees. This is the better word lah. Okay, supplementary or add up to 180 degrees. So where are our interior angles? Okay, so let's say if I have something over here, the interior angle is actually over here. So this thing will actually form a C, like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these two angles inside is what we call the interior angle. Okay, let's say if I don't this one, let's say if I were to take this instead, also can. Okay, so this one, then the interior angles would one be here, the other one be there, like that. Okay, so we have three sets of things. So we have our corresponding alternate interior, and okay, the letter C shows the interior angle. So we got three letters to help us to remember to find our parallel angles, angle properties for parallel lines. Okay, so we've got our corresponding F, alternate Z, and interior C, like that. Okay, F, Z, and C. Okay, like this. Okay, now can it be upwards? And cannot, because there's no C to draw upwards. This one also, like, you need to find a Z, this one need to find an F. Can the F be this side? Can. Okay, so like this also can. Alright, so three sets of angles like this here. Now then, let us revisit another angle property that we've learned long time ago, which is something that we call the vertically opposite angle. Okay, vertically opposite angle. This one, right, we actually don't need the parallel line, but vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, vertically opposite angles are equal. So where are our vertically opposite angle? Let's say if I have an angle here, the angle opposite over here, these are equal. Okay, same thing also if we have an angle here, so these two angles are vertically opposite. Okay, oh, by the way, one more thing. I need to write down the short form for each of these things to save your life. So short form, okay, corresponding angle, we can write this as CORR dot angle. Okay, corresponding angles. Alternate angles, okay, we need to write it as alternate, like this, angles. Okay, interior angles, we just say INT, and angles, like that. Okay, then last but not least, the vertically opposite angles, our short form is actually, okay, vertically vert, opposite op, angles. Okay, now please don't simplify to VO this, because we won't know what it means. This is actually the best that we can do. Okay, now later you need to pause the video. What we want you to do is to list down all the possible pairs of corresponding angles. Okay, so here list down all the pairs of corresponding angles, list down all the possible pairs of alternate angles, and over here list down all the possible pairs of interior angle and all your vertically opposite angles. Okay, so pause the video, okay, and then you come back and check your answer. Okay, you may pause now. Alright, so thank you for doing. Okay, thank you for doing. We will continue on to check out what our possible pairs are. So possible pairs of corresponding angle A and E. Okay, so angle A and angle E are the same. B and F. So angle B and angle F. We've got C and G. Okay, these two tucked in the same corner. So this one is C and G, same corner. D and H. Okay, angle D. So this one, four pairs of corresponding angles. Now alternate angles. Alternate angles, we need to look for the Z. So this one over here, so C and F. Okay, angle C and angle F. Then the other Z is here, D and E. Okay, do we have other alternate angles? We don't have. Okay, we just look at the interior one. There's no there's no Z that we can form up there or down there. Okay. Alright, now next one for our interior angles. Okay, we need to look for the C. Okay, so this one is actually just C and E. This one will add up to 180 degrees. What else? Another pair of interior angles, D and F. So angle D, angle F. So these are the ones that will add up to 180 degrees. So interior angles. There's no other angles there. Last but not least, your vertically opposite angles, we're looking for opposite to each other. So A and D, B and C, opposite. So here, A and D are the opposite. B and C are opposite. Down here, E and H are opposite. F and G are opposite. Okay, so E and H are opposite. F and G are opposite. So this is our four pairs of vertically opposite angles. Okay, so next we're going to use the corresponding the parallel angles are the corresponding alternate and interior angles to solve geometry problems. So let's take a look at the next page over here for question A. Okay, so here you have to check the question. We cannot anyhow use, even though two lines may look like parallel, they may not be parallel. So before you do anything, you must check that they will say that these two lines are parallel first. Must check. Okay, so find the values of the unknowns in each of the following figures. So given that these two lines are parallel, okay, so AB and CD are the parallel lines. Find the values of the unknowns in the following figure. Okay, so for first one, for A, okay, we are looking for angle A over here. Okay, so where can we find angle A? Actually, we can make use of the opposite vertically opposite angle. So for, let's say if they are asking for answer only, there's no problem. If they give if they ask for the reason, then you have to write A is equals to 117 because of vertically opposite angles. Okay, so we got 4 things to take note. Yeah, so number 1, we've got our corresponding angles, alternate angles, we've got our interior angles, and also we've got our vertically opposite angles, and also we have our angle along a straight line, and then we've got our angle along a point. Okay, so 6 things to take note when we want to write down the thing. Okay, next one for B. B is here, so any clue on how we can find B? Angle along a straight line, we don't have the information here. We can use A. Okay, we can use A over here, or you can use 117 also can. Okay, so B is also equals to 117. Now the 2 reasons that we accept is all due to it can be a corresponding angle. Okay, when you write corresponding angle, you also must write the 2 parallel lines AB and CD like that, must write here. Okay, or it can be also B equals to A, right? Then the other answer is due to alternate angles, and you get the same because of the same 2 lines are parallel. AB equals to CD, so B and A are alternate angles, or B and 117 are your corresponding angles. Okay, now for C, you have 2 ways to do this. You can take 180 minus B, or you can take 180 minus A, up to you. Okay, so for C, you can be 180 degrees minus 117. Okay, so this would be actually 63 degrees. Now the reason, 2 reasons. Number 1, we can either write it as, if you want to use B, this would be because of angles along a straight line. Okay, now if you want to use the angle A, these 2 are interior angles because if you find the C shape, right, so A and C add up to 180, so 180 minus A gives you C. So this one, right, if you want to use your interior angles, interior angles, and you need to write down the 2 lines that are parallel like that. Okay, like that. 2 reasons, 2 possible reasons. You choose either one to write. Okay, now last but not least for D is over here. Now next thing is C and D. Can they form interior angles? No, because these 2 lines are not parallel. Whereas for this one, we can form interior angles because these 2 lines are the parallel ones. If they are not parallel, these 2 lines are not parallel, right, you cannot form interior angles. So don't be misled. So how can you find D? Actually, corresponding angle up there, D and 78. Okay, so D is equals to 78 degrees, and this is because of corresponding angles. Okay, this, and you need to write down the 2 parallel lines AB, because AB is parallel to CD. Why do we need to write down? Because there might be questions where you have more than 2 pairs of parallel lines. Okay, so here we go. We got 117, 63, 78. Okay, like that. Okay, now next one for B. Okay, for question B, now we need to look for E and F. So E and F, E is over here. Okay, so the one interesting thing that we can do is this one, E, this one over here like this. Okay, so as long as you can catch the Z, so E is actually equals to 31. So E is equals to 31 degrees because of, we call this alternate angles. And I need to write down the 2 parallel lines like that, alternate angles. Okay, now for F, okay, where do we find the F? F is over here like this. Okay, F. Okay, you can also find the Z, but F and this one, the whole thing is okay, F over here, then the whole thing will give you the angle. So F is equals to 35 plus 31. So this is actually 66 degrees. So why? Also because of alternate angles, and also because AB is parallel to CD, like that. These two lines means parallel. Okay, in case you are not sure, these two lines mean because they are parallel to each other. Okay, all right. So E is 31, F is 66, like this. Okay, all right. So this is some examples that we use to find. So actually same like primary school, just that now we need to add in the reason like what we did before. Okay, all right. So this is question A, question B. Now let's look at the next next three questions. Question C, D, and level 2. All right. Now, so here they give A, B, C, D are parallel. So we got two parallel things up here. Okay, so let's find G and H. So G is here. This one is here. Can we use corresponding angle? Can we match G and 69? Can or cannot? Answer is cannot, because if this one is the cutting line, these two must be parallel. Okay, these two must be parallel, but they are not. Okay, so these two are not corresponding. So actually the one that we are looking for is here. This one, like this, like this. Okay, your Z, and then G and 83. Why? Because these two lines are parallel, and when the line cut across here, these two will form your alternate angles. So here, this one is G is equals to 83 degrees because of alternate angles, and line AB is parallel to line CD, like that. Okay, so must write this reason. Okay, next one, H, right? Okay, is this another alternate angle? Is this another Z that you can use? No, because FD, DF and ACE, these two lines, they are not parallel. You have to find something that is parallel to use. So instead of this, right, we have to, since these two lines are parallel, so we can use this same corner over here. So H is actually equals to 69 degrees because of corresponding angles. Okay, and then two lines parallel, AB and CD, like this. So this one is 69. Okay, so like this. So be careful, be very, very careful. Okay, so how does it look like? Is this one, and this one like this here. Okay, the F is here. These two must be parallel. These two also must be parallel. Okay, now donkey. Now last but not least, we need to find I, we need to find the J. Okay, so I and J. J very straightforward because J is just here. Okay, J very straightforward because J is just like this. Okay, like this. Okay, we've got two parallel lines here, and then we've got a line that cuts through these two lines. So these two angles, okay, these two angles, they are alternating angles. Okay, so actually our J is equals to 60 degrees, and this is because of alternating angles. Write down the reason and write down the two parallel lines, AB parallel to CD, because this is parallel angles. Okay, now the next one is actually the I. Where do we get the I? Actually over here, two parallel lines again, then this one, the C. So this property is actually our interior angle. So I is actually equals to 180, right, minus of this angle. So minus of 75 plus 60 degrees. Why? Also because of interior angles and the two parallel lines, AB parallel to CD. Okay, so 180, right, minus 75 plus 60 with bracket, so we left with 45 degrees. So I is 45. Okay, so remember to write down the working, write down the reason. Okay, so I is 45, J is 60. Okay, so a bit different from primary school already. Now next one. Okay, level 2. Okay, they give that A, B, and CD are parallel. So let's try to find out what is the value of C and D. Now the next one is not so straightforward because there is some algebra I need to do. However, here, okay, we have the F over here. Okay, can you see the F? Okay, so here 140 and 7C are actually same. So 7C is equals to 140 degrees because of corresponding angles. So when they are corresponding, you can just take them equal. Okay, and why AB equals CD? Because it's given. The arrow here is given. The arrow shows that the two lines are parallel. Okay, so 7C is 140. So let us divide by 7. Divide by 7. This thing will cancel out. So C will be equals to 20. Okay, C is equals to 20. Last but not least, 2D over here, right? 2D and 7C are the same. So 2D is actually equals to 7C, and this is equals to 140 degrees. So 2D divided by 2 divided by 2 cancel out. So D will be equals to 70 degrees. Okay, so what's the reason here? Why are they equal? Opposite angle. So this one is actually our vertically opposite angles. Why not just opposite angles? Because there are other angles which may be opposite when we learn later. This one is what we call the vertically opposite angles. Okay. Okay, so this is for the page 5. Now let us move on to the next part, which is our very last part. Okay, now here we actually want to talk about the reverse of our angle properties. Okay, we want to talk about the reverse of our angle properties. So in this figure, what is actually the reverse, right? Is actually previously is because these two things are parallel. Okay, because these two lines are parallel, then you can use these three properties. Okay, now is because you observe these three properties, then you can say that the two lines are parallel. So actually the logic here is, okay, so the logic here is, okay, like this. Previously the logic is because you have two parallel lines. Okay, because you have two parallel lines, okay, so and then you can use your corresponding angle, your alternate angle, and then your interior angle like this. Okay, so this arrow is from left to right. However, now the converse is from right to left, so we can actually do this back way. So actually it's a two-way thing. As long as you see two parallel lines, you can use these three, or as long as you see these three things, any of these three things, you can say that the two lines are parallel. Okay, so first, in the figure, the lines AB and CD are cut by transversal PQ and RS, so cut by these two lines, but they never say that these two are parallel. Okay, if you read carefully, they never say that AB, CD are parallel, never say PQ, RS parallel. So they say that if, okay, given that these two are equal, okay, 55 degrees. Okay, what can you say about AB and CD? So what is this actually? Because they are the same, they are, what kind of angles are these? They are actually the alternate angles, and because they are alternate angles, these two lines must be parallel. So number one, we have to write that, say that now AWQ, this angle is equals to DYP, this angle, and both of them are equal to 55, and we can say that these are alternate angles. Okay, so this means what can you say about lines AB and CD, right? So this means that AB is parallel to CD, like this. Okay, so this means that AB is parallel to CD. Okay, if you want to write in full, right, you can say that AB is parallel to CD. Okay, like that. And now, because you show that they are parallel, then you can use all the other things already. Okay, so the first thing to show is the first thing to do is to show that these two lines are parallel, and then you can use the other angle properties for parallel lines. So how do we find CZS, this one? How can we find this angle? Where to match this angle? The 138, your corresponding angle. So part 2, you say that the angle CZS, the head in the middle, meaning the angle is there. This one is equals to 138 degrees because of corresponding angles, two parallel lines, meaning AB parallel to CD, like this. Must write the reason. Okay, so number 1, number 2. Okay, so in case you don't know what is going on, one more time, is that number 1, instead of using the property, okay, we actually want to show that the two lines are parallel. Okay, so because this one are alternate angles, then you get your parallel lines, and because of the parallel lines, you can use it for the other properties. So you can use your corresponding angles and so on and so forth. Okay, Alright, next one. Okay, let's try B to see our logic again. Okay, same thing. In the figure, the lines PQ, RS, these two lines are cut by AB and CD. They never say parallel line, they never do any marking. So this one, we leave it here first. Okay, this one, we leave it here first. They never say it's parallel, so we cannot assume that they are parallel. Okay, we cannot do that yet. Okay, now, and then they say that if WZY is 70 degrees, so here 70 degrees, here is 110. What can you say about PQ and RS? What can you say about these two lines? State your reason clearly. Okay, so what can we say about this thing? Okay, like this over here, right? These two lines. Now, are they parallel or not? Actually, yes. Why is that so? It's the 70 and 110. Okay, they form our interior angles. So number one, okay, so the conclusion is they are parallel, but why are they parallel? Because your WZY, angle WZY plus angle XYZ is equals to 70 degrees plus 110 degrees, and this is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, so meaning they are interior angles. Okay, they are interior angles, and so therefore your line PQ is parallel to QR, like that. Or if you don't want to write so long, you can say that PQ is parallel to QR also can. Okay, symbol like shorter lah. Okay, next time, number 2, if BXY, this one over here, 1, 2, 3, find the value of XWZ. Find this angle here. Okay, so what is this angle? What is this angle over here? How do we match this one? We can match using the corresponding angle. So number 2, this one B, so XWZ. So this angle over here. So angle XWZ is equals to 1, 2, 3 degrees. Because these two are parallel, so you can use your corresponding angles. And PQ parallel to RS like that. Okay, so you can write like that. Okay, alright, so without further ado, right, so let's wrap up what's going on here. Okay, let's wrap this up. Okay, so we have our two angle properties. Okay, two sets of angle properties. The first set is our basic ones. So this one, and this one. So angle A, angle B, angle C. Angle A, angle B, angle C. And this one, let me put here angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D. Okay, so this one, angle A plus angle B plus angle C, this is 180 degrees because of, we call this angles along a straight line. This one, your angle A plus angle B plus angle C, this is 360, and the reason is because this is angles at a point. This one is angle A equals to angle B, and your angle C equals to angle D, opposite because of vertically opposite angles. Okay, the next one involving parallel lines. Okay, so here we just need to look for our F. Okay, so let me just do the simple one. Okay, the F, the C, the Z, and the C. Okay, so the summary is, now this one is the same as this one. Okay, this one is the same as this one. Okay, so this angle 1 must be the same as angle 1. Angle 2 must be the same as angle 2. Angle 3, actually these are the same, angle opposite. This one also same as this. And you can actually see the upside down F. Then opposite here, angle 2 are the same. Okay, so actually is the one that I'm looking for is actually the easiest to look for is this one. So this one, these two are the same because of this thing called the corresponding angle. Corresponding angles. Okay, this one is our alternate angles. And where is the angles? Actually here, this one and this one, they are the same. Okay, can it also be this one and this one? Also can. These two form another pair of alternate angles. Okay, so this angle number one, number two. Okay, last but not least, this one. This number one, angle number one and angle number two, right? So angle number one plus angle number two will give me 180 degrees, and this is because of your interior angles. And you must always write the two parallel lines, AB and CD are parallel. This one. Okay, AB and CD are parallel. Okay, like this. Okay, so AB parallel to CD, like this. Okay. Alright, so this is all for this this portion. So today so after this, make sure you finish all the assignments, these 4 questions over here. Okay, so make sure that if you need algebra, please use algebra, or if you need to write down any other answer, please write down the steps and also the reason. Must write the reason. Last but not least, this one we will deal with it when we come back to school, okay, in class. So don't worry about this. Focus on these 4 questions. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you.